Up next on The Bottom Line, county officials step in and call for increased inspections at a Silver Spring apartment complex.
I'm going to do everything I can to push the housing department and the county executive to really crack down on these folks and find them and make sure they bring this place up to code.
Expanding health care for veterans right here in Montgomery County.
When I found out, I called, and the same day I got an appointment for the next day. I was like, oh, I love that.
A new county program that's working to improve the lives of residents through literacy.
And to get a better job, you had to have like a diploma or high school certificate.
And federal workers are back on the job, but county resources are still available for those in need.
Please take advantage of these opportunities. We are here to do whatever we can to support you.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kennedy. Up first this time, county officials have ordered the inspection of every unit at the Enclave apartment complex in Silver Spring. This after numerous code violations were recently uncovered. Last September, the county's Department of Housing and Community Affairs inspected 262 of the 1,119 units at the Enclave apartment complex in Silver Spring. There were 367 violations, which prompted county officials to step up those inspections to check every unit at the complex.
So this is the area that we were discussing.
Raul Ratcliffe has lived at the Enclave for 4 years. His neighbor and friend Debbie for more than a decade. When visiting her last fall, he noticed mold along the wall and baseboard. When he pulled back the carpet, more mold. That's when they called the management company for help, but the response was marginal at best.
The tenant here was told that the padding was replaced and that the mold was treated. And as you can see, the carpet and the mold still on the carpet. You can see even further in the wood. This is something that's been causing a lot of respiratory issues.
The list of violations at the Enclave range from mold to rat infestation, broken appliances, leaking sinks, chipping paint, and a lack of smoke detectors.
Anybody who's in an apartment full of mold like this should be relocated to a...
Councilmember Tom Hucker represents the residents who live at the Enclave. After the initial inspection last year, he wrote the county's Department of Housing and Community Affairs asking that all the apartments at the Enclave be inspected. County Executive Mark Elrich has now backed up that request.
I'm very grateful to the county exec that he ordered the housing department to make all these inspections. We're going to look at those reports and tabulate all those violations, and then they're going to have a conversation with the management company about remediating them. I'm going to do everything I can to push the housing department and the county executive to really crack down on these folks and find them and make sure they bring this place up to code.
Will Jawando is a member of the Council's Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee. He says he wants to be an advocate to ensure the safety of all the residents who live at the complex.
Seeing and hearing from the stories from the folks in the Enclave really bothered me. Everyone in Montgomery County, everyone in the country should have access to a safe, habitable place to live. We're really going to step up our review of the code enforcement in the county. I plan on looking into it on the Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee, which I sit on, and we're going to make sure we get to the bottom of this.
Raul Ratcliffe and other residents of the Enclave say they are not looking to create conflict. They just want to live in a safe, healthy environment.
This is about how do we repair what's been going on? How do we become more engaged and help you do a better job? Because we live here. You know, we have the incentive to want to be involved, to do things, to make things better.
The county has relaunched the Renters Have Rights campaign. Renters are encouraged to contact DHCA to mediate conflicts or file anonymous complaints. With more than 42,000 veterans living right here in Montgomery County, officials here make it a priority to have the best services available to those heroes. Recently, a new VA community clinic opened its doors right here in the county, and it's giving veterans an option of receiving health care closer to home. Life has become a bit easier for veteran Cecilia Roland Faria. No longer will she have to spend most of her day receiving medical care from the Veterans Administration.
When I used to go to Martinsburg, it was like 30, depending on traffic. And then to Washington, D.C., it was even worse. But here, when I found out, I called, and the same day I got an appointment for the next day. I was like, oh, I love that. So, and it's been like that. Every time I call to make an appointment, I usually get it the next day.
The same holds true for the thousands of veterans who live in Montgomery County. The Department of Veterans Affairs has opened a state-of-the-art clinic in Gaithersburg, giving county veterans an option to receive health care closer to home.
We provide women's health service. Also, we provide internal medicine or family practice. We also have mental health and behavioral health. Along with that, we also have nutritionist and social worker that is on board.
The opening of the clinic comes after years of planning and community collaboration. Councilmember Gabe Albornoz chairs the Health and Human Services Committee.
How's this facility been working out for you?
Great.
He says it's our duty to provide this access to the many veterans who have served our country.
The audiologists come by here once a week at least.
Wow. We've worked hard to end veteran homelessness here in Montgomery County. We're doing that through partnerships and alliances, just like the one we have here. We're serving more than 42,000 veterans residing in Montgomery County. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to chair a committee that will play hopefully a, maybe not so small, but maybe even a larger part in to provide more support in a variety of different ways.
When the clinic opened late last year, the initial thought was most of the patients would be from Montgomery County. However, Bandong says they are seeing clients from Frederick County and Northern Virginia. The clinic is the 5th satellite facility in the region. Walk-in appointments are welcome, and there is 24/7 after-hours support for those who might need it.
It is very critical because that's something that the healthcare system didn't put too much emphasis in the past.
Montgomery County has stepped in with support by providing transportation to the clinic, and signage was installed to help veterans navigate their trip to the clinic.
Ever since we reached out to the Montgomery County government, they were able to make some provision that the transportation will be available from 6:30 in the morning out to 8 in the evening every 30 minutes. And that is very, very wonderful. It's like we're partnering with the county government.
When you walk through the door, you just feel welcomed. And I certainly did as I walked through, and nobody knew who I was. And so they're doing a phenomenal service here. And I just couldn't be prouder of the partnership and impressed by the operation.
It's a partnership that's a win-win, especially for Cecilia Roland Faria.
Yes, a lot. I'm really grateful that they opened this clinic here. And I mean, I really was waiting for this clinic to open. I was like, when I finally found out that it was open, I said, oh, thank you, God.
When a person thinks about education, they frequently connect that idea to children. But here in Montgomery County, where the demographics are constantly changing, conversations about education are about more than school-age students. Victor Amaya came to the United States from El Salvador in 2004. He has always worked and currently lives with his wife and daughter in Silver Spring. Victor wants to get his electrician's license. Right now, he's an assistant and he's also working nights at a restaurant. But for the past several weeks on Mondays and Wednesdays, Victor has been making time to come to the Long Branch Library, where he is learning math as part of the Montgomery County Literacy Council's GED prep program.
I want to get a license, but I didn't know that I have to have the GED to get a license, so that's why I'm taking this class. But it's not easy because it takes time, and then I really don't have a time, but I'm trying to make the space to get here.
When you look at it academically, those students are GED students because they don't have a high school credential, and they're struggling at that 4th, 5th, 6th grade level. So what we decided to do was to create a GED program and focus on 3 locations where we saw the most activity, the most need.
The GED prep classes started with 1 class at the Long Branch Library, and it's now expanded to locations in the East County and Gaithersburg.
I am learning from this.
Andrea Linton immigrated here from Jamaica 2 years ago. She is interested in the healthcare industry, but with no high school degree, her choices were limited. She's been taking the GED classes since October.
I didn't go to high school, and to get a better job, you had to have like a diploma or high school certificate or something. And for doing this, I could go back to college and I could get the job that I'm looking for.
Councilmember Tom Hucker represents the Long Branch community. He says this program is especially beneficial to his district, where there is a high concentration of immigrants.
Lots of people, come to this country at various stages of life. They need skills to succeed in school, in the job market later in life, and then when they're parents, to succeed in the PTA, or to advocate for their kids, or to advocate for their neighborhoods. And the Literacy Council steps in at each of those stages and helps to give people the confidence and the English skills so they can really be an advocate for themselves and their families.
The classes are free and are staffed with volunteers who step in as tutors when needed. They understand that everyone benefits by helping these students develop new skills.
Even though unemployment is low, there's a lot of people who are out of work or who are working part-time and could be doing full-time work if they had the skills. So there's a lot of jobs out there, and employers keep saying, well, we can't find the people. So these kinds of programs help people develop the skills, get the certain degrees they need in order to fill those jobs, and that really helps the whole economic development of the county.
What we have found is that students are extremely motivated to come and learn, and they realize the importance of an education, especially in a country like the United States, in order to have a stable job that really has an income that supports a family, especially with college aspirations. And so so the Literacy Council just provides, that basis. And, as I said, being tuition free, it's amazing.
Victor,
and he's a council member.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
And Victor wants to get his electrician license. Victor Amaya has big plans for his future, and he says he's grateful for the opportunity to be a better citizen and father.
Everybody wants the best for your kids. That's what I try to do. In the future, maybe she's getting big every day. One day she's gonna need to maybe go to the college or something, and I expect to get enough money how to take care of her.
Those are exactly the kind of stories that need to be told about so many immigrants in Montgomery County and really everywhere that contribute so much and work so hard, just to provide better opportunities for their families. And the more those stories are told, the more public support there is. It's really as simple as that. They're such a great face of the community, and they really deserve to have their face out there.
The federal government shutdown may be over for now, but some furloughed workers who live here in Montgomery County may still need assistance until that first paycheck arrives. The good news is there are plenty of valuable resources for those who have been affected by the shutdown. Montgomery County is home to thousands of federal workers. And as the government shutdown moves into its fourth week,
I work for the Agricultural Research Service, which is a subcomponent agency of the USDA.
Those residents are beginning to feel the effects of being forced to take unpaid leave.
It's tough. I'm a single parent to 3 kids, so I'm the only income in the house.
This is a serious situation. This is not a game, and it shouldn't be treated as some kind of game for posturing for political purposes. These are real lives, and these are folks who need to have their paycheck so they can pay their mortgages, their rent, whatever is needed.
And we want to take care of our own. And so for the tens of thousands of federal employees who are furloughed, I've asked our social service agencies, our food banks and others to waive their income requirements so that we can help provide the resources to those who need it.
Manna Food has temporarily lifted its income requirements to offer food assistance to county residents who have been financially impacted by the shutdown.
Thanks to the community's generosity.
Manna CEO Jackie DiCarlo says there has been an uptick in requests for assistance, but they are ready to welcome all residents in need.
On a regular basis, we work with people living paycheck to paycheck. So when we heard that there were going to be contractors and government officials who were receiving zero paycheck, we decided to waive the income requirements, but not just for those folks, also for related businesses.
Montgomery County Public Schools is also offering meals for students impacted by the shutdown through its Dine with Dignity program. The program allows students with negative account balances to enjoy breakfast and lunch at no cost. A Wider Circle has created a dedicated fund to support federal workers with food and other household essentials, and Shepherd's Table's dining room is open to anyone who might need a nutritious meal.
What we want is for our residents to know that please take advantage of these opportunities. We are here to do whatever we can to support you in this difficult time.
For a complete list of resources available to residents affected by the shutdown, visit the Montgomery County website and follow the links through the Federal Shutdown Assistance Portal. Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kennedy. Thanks for watching.